Our first person tonight is going to be Ruth Lane. She's the corporate director. She was one of our corporate directors that was able to go to Moldova and experience the tour of our manufacturing facility, but also she's been wearing the pendant since she got it in Moldova almost a month ago. So Ruth, share with the audience what it has done for you and why do you like it so much?
Well, thank you so much, Carmen. Hello, everybody. Hello, APL Nation. It's so great to be here. I do wear it all the time. It is on my neck right now. I am very fortunate. I got number 8, and 8 is an infinity number. It's also a Fibonacci number. But what a lot of people don't know is that in 2015, I got into a fight with a U-Haul truck. And the APL lozenges actually got me walking after I had not been able to walk for 2.5 years. When I put the pendant on, immediately, and my roomie, Julia, will tell you this, I was able to walk without my cane, pain-free. I woke up this morning and I ate something yesterday that caused some inflammation and my knee just wouldn't bend. I'm bone on bone. They can't fix it. It's just not bad news. And I immediately put the pendant on, and I've been out up at our build site. We're building a house right now, walking around all day, 100% pain-free. I also noticed that I had 0 jet lag. Now, I take a lot of our lozenges, but some of the ones that I take are slide.
The pendant for me, I was a little bit skeptical because I am totally a gal of science and faith. I pray a lot and I read the science and I look at the data and I'm not super into all the woo-woo crystal stuff, and I was a little bit skeptical. But when we first got them in Moldova, first off, they're beautiful. I mean, I don't know if you can see that. They all have the logo on it. They all have a certified number on the back. Everyone's different. When I first got it, I put it on. I think we all got them that afternoon and we just had a grand old time. I had the best night's sleep that night that I have had in probably 6 months. Sherry, I don't know if you remember, but when I woke up, I said I slept through the entire night, and I don't remember the last time that has happened. So was it the pendant? Was it that we had all this activity? Was it the relax I took? I don't know, but I have to say it was probably something to do with the pendant. I also have chronic pain, and my knee was really hurting the next morning because we did a ton of dancing in Moldova. So I put it directly on my knee, like under my pants.
My big toe every morning, my second big toe. I broke it a couple years ago. I didn't go to the doctor. I didn't do anything about it or wrap it, or I just lived with the annoyance of having that. And then, so when it gets a little colder out, like I think arthritis might have set into it a little bit, something. So every morning, it's like the first 30 or 40 steps I take, right? From the bed to the bathroom, back to the kitchen. And it's that first like 5 or 10 minutes. I limp a little bit to avoid that toe. Now every morning I wake up, I take my pendant, I put it right on my toe. I answer my emails from the night before, and then I get up and I walk just fine. I mean, it's the most incredible thing. I still can't believe it. I can't wait till everybody gets their hands on it.
First of all, I felt this, I become I'm calmed down, emotionally stable. No, this, especially that I'm living in New York. You know, in New York, when you're driving in the morning during daytime, it's always traffic and everything. Usually, I'm always like stressed. No, this is how to drive in New York, and I felt that I'm very calm now. This is what I think, and plus that during these long flights, when I'm wearing this my pendant, usually I like to take a nap. During the flights, then I don't want to sleep at all. Even this, my last flight was the 15 hours. During the 15 hours, I wouldn't sleep at all. And all the airplanes, everybody sleep. 100% the people, they sleep, except me. Because I'm just walking around and I'm looking what people doing. I start to do like push-ups and so on. I'm like this. From where I'm getting so much energy, then I remember, yes, I'm wearing this thing. This thing really amazing. Our team is very excited to
know what was in it, and I have a science background. I also have an energy wellness practice that I work with people in the quantum fields. So for me, this was a opportunity for me to go deeper and release some very deep chest emotions, as well as the physical phlegm that comes up off the diaphragm. I lost my husband 6 years ago. And at first, there was no grieving because it was more of a miracle for him to be able to choose to leave when he chose. He was getting well, and then he had an opportunity to leave. So the grieving didn't start until really about 2 years ago. So what I have experienced is letting go even more with this pendant. And I want you to know that some of you will experience some emotional highs, very strong highs, not just in physical energy, but you will feel a bliss. And some of you who still hold on to a stress or a trauma may feel it lifting out of you. It's very real. The energy is in the quantum field that we get to experience from these. I do understand the science, and that is very real.
To the pendant, what we're all here for. I also got mine when I was in Moldova, and I've had so many success stories with this thing already, it's kind of ridiculous. But one of them was when I came into Moldova, when I landed, I was getting off a small airplane, and somebody was trying to get their luggage as I was getting my luggage in the overhead, and hit my finger. And I knew, because I've broken bones so many times, I knew I'd broken the finger, right below the joint. It was like probably a hairline fracture, but it hurt a lot. And when I got to the hotel room, it was beyond swollen, and I knew I'd have to get up and go do buddy tape the next morning, but I didn't have any time to get tape. So I thought, well, I'll just go to the convention, or not so like convention, the conference that we were having, and I would just go experience that and then get tape and tape my finger later on. So when we went to the conference and Sergey gave us these pendants, it was really interesting because I was excited about all the things that was happening. I was excited about the negative ions that it was going to give me, the constant grounding that I was going to have, because I'm constantly sucking on the lozenges, and this would just be one more extra thing that I got to do. And I wore it all day, I wore it all night, and the next up, from the day before, I couldn't bend my finger like this at all. And when I woke up the next morning, I was bending and I was freaking out in my hotel room all by myself because I was like, this is crazy. So that's one of the stories. When I got back from Moldova, yes, the energy I had was insane and definitely needed because I was flying 28-hour flights and having to jump on 4 different airplanes. So I was grateful for that. When I got home, though, like I said, I have a couple because my mom, she was having some struggles, as Kathleen was talking about emotional healing and stuff. And she had called me, and I went over to her house. And when I went into her house, she was just having a hard time. And I said, "Here, Mom, just take this and put it on and see what happens." And so she started deregulating. Like she started deregulating very quickly, which I was excited to see for her because it takes her a minute sometimes. So that was very exciting.
Fortunate to go to Moldova, and I'm so glad I did. The first thing I noticed is when we were at the wine tasting, Sergey taught us how to tell the difference between which nostril to smell the fragrance of the wine versus the alcohol. But I haven't had a sense of smell very well since in the late 80s. So I took my pendant and put it on each nostril for maybe 30 seconds and then did the test, and I can clearly smell the fragrance and the alcohol on each side. That was the first thing I noticed.